4 years after the events at Lockwood Estate and the devastating volcanic explosion on Isla Nublar, de-extinct dinosaurs are still roaming the planet, wreaking havoc on the environment and provoking lethal animal assaults. In the midst of international efforts to manage the invasive species, Biosyn Genetics set up a dinosaur preserve in the Dolomite Mountains of Italy, where they carry out genomics research in the hopes of discovering novel pharmaceutical and agronomic uses. Because Biosyn has been given exclusive rights to dinosaur research, its earnings have lately increased. In addition to investigating illegal dinosaur breeding sites, Claire Deering, the former park manager of Jurassic World and founder of the Dinosaur Protection Group, Zia Rodriguez, a paleoveterinarian and dinosaur rights activist, and Franklin Webb, a former technician at Jurassic World and dinosaur rights activist, are still involved with the organization. Claire's partner, Owen Grady, an ethologist, U.S. Navy veteran, and former Jurassic World employee who was in charge of training velociraptors, works as a wrangler and assists in relocating stray dinosaurs. Claire and Owen are raising Benjamin Lockwood's biogenetic granddaughter, 14-year-old Maisie Lockwood, a clone of his daughter that he raised as his granddaughter and is under their care, in secret at their remote cabin in the Sierra Nevada mountains. They are doing this to shield her from genetic research companies that would use her DNA for various evil plans. Maisie calls it Beta when Blue, Owen's trained velociraptor, shows up unannounced with an asexually reproduced hatchling. Unaware that Biosyn agents had found her, Maisie stealthily leaves Claire and Owen after becoming more irritated with her life in seclusion. They seize Beta and kidnap her. Giant locusts, which were once extinct, have mysteriously returned in large swarms and destroyed crops in other places. Dr. Ellie Sattler, a paleobotanist and one of the experts who visited John Hammond's original Jurassic Park, suspects that the locusts were produced using biosyn seeds. Because corporate-grown crops are left uneaten, Ellie turns to Dr. Alan Grant, a paleontologist who was consulted for Jurassic Park and a survivor of the Isla Sorna expedition portrayed in Jurassic Park III, for assistance because she thinks the locust may be Cretaceous in age. In order to obtain a DNA sample and validate her theory, she wants Alan to accompany her as they break into the Biosyn facility. Claire phones Franklin for assistance as she and Owen become frightened. Claire and Owen are informed by Franklin, who is currently with the CIA's dinosaur team, that Maisie and Beta were probably sent to Malta. When they get there, they sneak into a dinosaur black market, which is where the kidnapper is allegedly hanging out. Rain Delacourt, the kidnapper, rebels by unleashing predator dinosaurs in response to authorities' raid to apprehend him, wreaking havoc. When Delacourt confesses that he was employed by a woman named Soyona Santos, the dinosaurs murder him. A pursuit through the city ensues after the group finds Soyona, who unleashes trained dinosaurs on them. Owen's former Jurassic World co-worker Barry Sembene, a French intelligence agent and former animal trainer who is currently working undercover in Malta, tells Claire and Owen that Maisie and Beta are being taken to Biosyn's remote Italian research facility. Claire and Owen are transported there by empathetic cargo pilot Kayla Watts, who was familiar with the area because she had assisted Claire and Owen in escaping the dinosaurs and had been paid by Lewis to fly Maisie into Malta. After being alerted by communications director Ramsey Cole, Dr. Ian Malcolm, a chaos theorist, a former consultant for Jurassic Park, and a major player in the San Diego incident portrayed in the Lost World Jurassic Park, has joined Biosyn and asked Ellie for assistance in exposing CEO Dr. Lewis Dodgson's illicit actions. It is revealed that the locusts were genetically modified to avoid biosyn crops in order to control the world's food supply. Dr. Henry Wu, the company geneticist who oversaw the dinosaur cloning programs at Jurassic Park and Jurassic World, and who knew Maisie's late mother, was one of his colleagues. Dr. Wu now opposes this plan, saying it will lead to worldwide famine as the locusts expand unfettered. He wants to eliminate all of the locusts that have already been released into the wild. Lewis is determined and says he wants to move forward with the idea. When Wu first meets Maisie, he tells her that the genetically identical Maisie was conceived asexually using the DNA of Dr. Charlotte Lockwood, the late daughter of Benjamin Lockwood and Wu's former co-worker. To save Maisie from inheriting a deadly illness she changed her DNA. Dr. Wu thinks the secret to developing a disease that can stop the locust outbreak is Maisie and Beta's asexual conceptions and DNA. Dr. Wu believes he could eradicate the locust swarms by introducing a new DNA sequence into them if he can figure out how Charlotte altered Maisie's DNA after she was born. Beta and Maisie escape from captivity. Claire ejects, and Owen and Kayla crash land as a Quetzalcoatlus attacks Kayla's jet in Biosynth airspace. The three reassemble after having separate run-ins with a Pyroraptor and a Therizinosaurus. Dr. Ellie and Dr. Allen enter a restricted lab within Biosyn and take a sample of locusts. They run across Maisie, who takes them to a nearby airfield via the Hyperloop system. Dr. Dodgson finds the breach and burns the locusts to eliminate the evidence, but many escape, causing a forest fire and necessitating an evacuation of the entire area. Dr. Lewis Dodgson learns that Dr. Allen, Dr. Ellie, and Maisie have made an escape. The three must traverse the natural caverns through which the Hyperloop was constructed after he turns it off. Dr. Lewis Dodgson was aware that dinosaurs inhabited the caves. After learning of Dr. Dodgson's actions, Ian and Ramsey begin a rescue. After a narrow escape, Dr. Allen, Dr. Ellie, and Maisie reunite with Ian, Owen, Claire, and Kayla. Dr. Lewis Dodgson uses a Hyperloop to escape with dinosaur embryos, but he becomes stuck in a tunnel and is slain by 3 Dilophosaurus, while Owen finds and calms Beta. Electronic implants call forth the dinosaurs to shield them from the flames. A Therizinosaurus and the first parts seizing Tyrannosaurus Rex attack and kill a Giganotosaurus that threatens the group. Dr. Henry Wu and the group flee aboard a Biosyn helicopter. Before testifying against Biosyn with Ian and Ramsey, Dr. Ellie and Dr. Allen resume their romance. When Owen, Claire, and Maisie get home, Beta and Blue are reunited. Dr. Wu creates a disease and releases it to kill the locusts. As the United Nations designates Biosyn Valley as a dinosaur sanctuary, dinosaurs around the world adjust to their new coexistence with contemporary species.